What's good, family? Demondre Douglas here. It is another beautiful day. It's a hot ass day, but I can't complain because I complained when it was cold as hell. So it is what it is. I'd rather it be hot. I enjoy the sun. Hopefully, I will be on the beach soon. Last month was a good month. It was up and down. I know it was up and down for a lot of chosen ones. It was like one day you receive a blessing, you may receive something you've been praying for, then like the next day you be worrying, you can't go to sleep, and some BS would happen. This month is our month, family. Like this is the month of prosperity and production. A lot of you are going to be moving into new homes. A lot of you will be getting new cars. A lot of you will be getting new financial abundance. And it's really spiritual. Like everything starts in the spirit. So it's really spiritual and it's really a blessing from God. And it's just our time. And I don't know about y'all, but for me, it's like, thank God. Like, thank God. We've been the black sheep. We've been broke, busted, and disgusted for too long. We've been codependent on other people who use that codependency to treat us like shit. And family, I want you to forgive them. Please forgive those who treated you wrong because it was not necessarily them, family. It's the spirit inside them. Satan hates your guts. There's nothing you could do about it. You could be a being of pure love. You could never do anyone wrong, even though we all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Even if you were perfect and you didn't do anything wrong, like Satan was still attacking you. There is no way that Satan's not going to attack you. Even if you're not fulfilling your kingdom job, he will send someone who's going to keep you asleep and keep you distracted so that you never even think about fulfilling your kingdom job. And so once you do start to serve your purpose for the kingdom, he's definitely going to attack you. And it is what it is. The analogy I like to use is this holy war is like a gang war on the streets. Okay, you just let's just say red versus blue. We're not even going to say the names of the organizations. Just red versus blue. If you are not with blue, then you're automatically with red. And if you try to say you're with neither, whomever the people are that you're surrounded by, whatever color they deal with, you will be associated with them too. So that's even worse. Um, let's just say you decided, I don't want to take part in this holy war. I don't want to be religious. I don't want to believe in heaven or hell, God or Satan. If the people are around you, if they are of the kingdom of Satan, or let's just say the red team, then you're still going to encounter warfare. Like it is what it is. Like, um, I'm trying to make it simple. If my brother is sex, money, murder, and I'm anywhere and the opposite gang sees me, even though I am not directly a part of it, I've taken no oaths. I don't I don't partake in it. They're still gonna treat me like the ops. Like they're still gonna rob me. They're still gonna try to big boy me. They're still gonna try to shoot at me. And I denounce gangs, by the way. I see no point in them because there is no loyalty. I have a personal close relative who spent a lot of time in jail for gang affiliation, and when he stepped on somebody, they celebrated him in that moment, but once they sent him to jail, family, Like, those people disappeared. Nobody put money on his books. Nobody came and visited him. So that's a lie. Like, the concept of the gang is a lie for the simple fact that you're gonna commit sins together, whether you be robbing, stealing, selling drugs, and then when you get in trouble, like, nobody's gonna be there for you. So it's better for you to be a lone wolf. It's better for you to be out on your own, family. It says it in the Bible. Take no oaths. You only answer to Jesus Christ. You answer to no man or woman on this planet, not even your mother and father, because once you turn 18, you are your own being. You are your own responsibility. And if you commit a crime, you will be the only one paying for that crime. I don't know, family. I am super happy. I won't lie to you. The enemy had been attacking me hardcore. But because he did that, it made me seek God. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. It made me learn prayers of spiritual warfare. It made me read my Bible more. It made me cut off people who God had been telling me to cut off that I did not want to, simply because of their titles. Whatever family member they were, whatever friend that they were, um, my body was addicted to the dopamine that those people provided me. And I want to remind you of this, family. Anything outside of God, in order for it to get you high, there has to be a low point. Like, there has to be a fall. It is imperfect. If And let me say this, I am not perfect. I sin, I repent, I do better. Um, it took me a long time to stop smoking weed, family. And even after that, I quote unquote stopped, like, I may stop smoking for some weeks. And I would always fall back into sin some way, somehow, whether it be having the wrong type of whether it be having the wrong type of people around me, or whether it be my own mind telling me that, okay, you're upset. Like, those were my two biggest issues. One was having the wrong people around me. If you have people around you that participate in whatever drug it is that has you addicted, you will continue to do that drug. You're only going to be able to go around those people for a certain amount of time before it gets to you. And it may not even be them. Satan, he knows us. So he may cause a trigger. He may cause, perfect example. Satan knows that when you argue with your spouse, you get so upset, and he knows that there's only be two things that bring you out of that state of mind. That's either going to be God and the Holy Spirit, or that drug. Okay, God always gives us options. And he gives us options because he loves us, and because he's not going to force us to worship him. So he wouldn't be a good God if he made it to where you didn't have the option. So he's going to give you that option. Okay, you're upset, you're angry. All right, what do you want to do about it? Are you going to go get high, or are you going to go read your Bible and pray to him? And these are things that you have to learn, because if you don't learn them, you're going to repeat this process, and it's going to cause stagnation in your life. It's going to cause you to continuously have to, bless him in the name of Jesus Christ. It's going to cause you to continuously have to retake that test, and you may score higher and higher each time on that test. But until you officially pass that test, that's gonna be your life, family. I don't care where else you change, because I remember when I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. There were some things that I removed from my life, like let's just say I decided I was gonna wake up on time every day. I decided that I wasn't gonna be lazy. I was gonna get up. Well, even if you decide that, if you continue to partake in whatever drug that is, the enemy will enter your life in other ways, because you have now given him legal right to fuck with you. Okay? So even though you're another example, let's say you decide to be a faithful spouse, man or woman. If you're still going to the casino, Satan will send a person that he knows that you will like to meet you at the casino. Like, they all tie in together. It's called a sin cycle. Okay? Most of us that are in sin, it is not just one sin that you're battling. It's multiple sins, and they all tie in together. So, you know, if you have a gambling addiction and you decide you're not going to gamble, however, you decide that I'm still going to continue my drug addiction, you will literally, Satan will send someone. You will go and buy your drug, and the person you buy your drug from will say, hey, I'm about to go to the casino. I want you to go with me. You don't need any money. And now, all of a sudden, that one sin has led you back into the other sin. So, in order for you to elevate, you have to get rid of all of it. And no one is perfect. You will never be free of all sin. Like, it's a daily battle. If you talk to any addict, if you talk to an alcoholic who has been sober for years, they will tell you it's an everyday battle. They will tell you that when I drive past the liquor store, like, I'm lying if the thought of, damn, they got the bottles of liquor that I used to drink on sale. Like, these are the temptations of the devil, and it looks, we want to say normal, but it's a setup. Like, it's done on purpose, family. Like, okay, mine is cigarettes right now. So even though cigarettes are legal and they don't necessarily get you high, it is it is an addiction that pollutes my temple, and God dwells inside of us. So when I smoke cigarettes, I am now unclean. And of course, God will still be inside of you. However, you won't be able to hear him as clearly. You won't have complete access to your gifts and your talents, because there will be certain thoughts that just don't come to your mind because you your vibration has dropped. And that's how I know I'm speaking real facts right now, family, because I've been out here. I just left. I just grabbed something to eat, and I was on the phone with some family members, and there were no distractions. There was no loud noise. There weren't people staring at me. There was nothing going on. However, as soon as I started talking about God, family, it's like the world around me starts going crazy. Helicopters start flying. Motorcycles start driving by. People start staring at me. People start watching me. Family, I was catching a train. I purposely went and sat away from the area. Okay, let me tell the whole truth. Let me give you guys the whole scope of the story. When I got off the train, I was waiting for a specific bus, but I did not go sit at the area of the bus I was waiting for. I went to another area and purposely sat. There was a gentleman who came and stood right next to me. Okay, so on the surface, it looks like I'm catching a bus, you're about to catch this bus too. However, I knew that this was a monitoring spirit because my discernment told me, because the Holy Spirit told me, okay, this man is watching you, okay? So I prayed for the man and I just continued to do me. Family, when my bus came, I got up and walked across the street to my bus. Family, he got up and left the area. Like he wasn't even sitting there waiting on the bus. He was only sitting there because I was present right there and he wanted to know what I was doing because he's a monitoring spirit, family. That's what they do. Like, okay, when you get money, family, stay humble. Act like you're broke. Don't. Let me make sure I clarify this, okay? Don't operate in the spirit of lack. However, don't go buy gold chains. Don't go buy diamond earrings. Don't do things that specifically show that I have wealth. Why? Why would you do that? You're just making yourself a target. You're just making yourself a target. Then you're going to get, people are going to say things like, what's going on, big money? Anytime somebody said they call you big money or they mention your wealth in the beginning of the statement, especially if they don't know you or they're just an associate, they're about to ask you for money, okay? And you're going to have to use your discernment on whether or not to bless them with that money. However, I contend that prayer is better. That's the name of Jesus Christ. Prayer is better than money. Because if I give you the money, it's like me handing you a cup of water. You're going to come back. However, if I pray for you and I show you and I do the things that allowed me to become wealthy, now I'm leading you to the river. And if I lead you to the river, now you won't come to me anymore. You'll go through God. You'll go to, even if you don't believe in God, you'll go to the river. You'll do the things that will provide you with more wealth instead of your thought process being, let me call the person that I know has the money. Especially with your family members. Like, when God levels you up, your family is going to feel entitled to your wealth, even if they were not good people to you, even if they treated you like shit. In their minds, they are entitled to your wealth. I don't know why. I can't tell you why because I don't think like that. If one of my family members becomes wealthy or comes into a lot of money, I am just happy for them. And if they so decide to reach out to me or do something for me, which some of them have, then I am just thankful for the blessing and I'm thankful that God blessed them with the ability to bless me. However, not everybody thinks like that. Some people just want what you have and they don't want to do the work for it, family. That brings me to my next point. When people see you right now, as you are right now, they think that God just gave you everything you have like that. And He did not. You had to earn it. For better or worse, wherever you are, whatever you have, is because of what you earned. So if you have nothing, you earned nothing. If you have a lot, you earned a lot. When you see people, famous people on TV, even the people that they created out of nowhere, those people still had to hone their talents. They still had to put time and effort into mastering their craft. They weren't just handed 100 million just because someone's an athlete and they're gifted with an athletic body. They still had to practice. They still had to develop the skill necessary for them to be good enough for the world to decide to pay them. So that's another thing you're going to encounter a lot. You're going to get people who are jealous and envious of you and what you have. And sometimes some of these people will have more than you. That's what really blows my mind, that there are individuals in your life right now that are jealous and envious of you, yet they have more than you. They have a bigger house than you. They have more money in their bank account than you. They have a spouse. A lot of us are still waiting on our kingdom spouses. A lot of us just left bad marriages and bad relationships with the narcissist. Some of us have been in those relationships for years. Yet these people are going to be upset when God blesses you with your kingdom spouse, regardless of how good they look, regardless of how successful they are. They just are, because some of these people are of their father, the devil. Which brings me to my next point. Family, I don't deal with self aware narcissists. That is ludicrous to me. That is absolutely crazy. So you're narcissistic, a narcissist has a personality disorder, okay? The part of their brain that deals with empathy is not active, okay? If you become aware that I am a narcissist, to me, there is no other option than to seek God and get better with your issue. For you to say, I am a self aware narcissist and this is why I do what I do, is bullshit. That is an excuse of why I am a bad person. And I'm going to give you my sob story or my excuse so that you will accept me because of X, Y, and Z. They will say things like, I was abused as a child. I was abused in my relationship. So that's why I'm a narcissist and that's why I treat people bad. Family, if you know that you were abused, why would you want someone else to go through that abuse? Why would you even inflict that type of pain on someone else, knowing how that felt to you? Okay? Like, another thing, every narcissist I've ever encountered is a professional liar. They lie about everything. They lie about the quality of their life. They lie about whether or not they have a spouse. I know you've met people who told you that they were single and you found out that was a lie. That is because they are professional liars. That is also because a narcissist cannot be alone. And because they cannot be alone, there is no way that they will only have one spouse or one sexual partner. They're not going to do that because that will make them too vulnerable. That will make them subservient to that one source of energy that they have. They want to have multiple sources of energy because they know at some point they're going to do something so bad that's going to make their spouse so mad that their spouse is going to leave them. They know this. They know this. So once they do that, it's called a discard. We already know that. Once they discard you, they need to have another source of supply imminently ready, automatically. And the proof is, when your narcissist discarded you, when you guys separated, they were in a new relationship almost immediately. Some of them got married within months of you all being in a serious multi-year long relationship. Family, that is not normal. It's not possible. It's not possible. If you and your spouse separate and literally within days they are posting on social media with a new spouse, family, that person has been in the picture. You just were not aware of it. Okay? That's all that was. And a lot of you can attest from experience that some of the people that the spouses run away with are people that they told you were just their friends. And that lets you know, like, they were completely full of shit. Family, please do not hate the narcissist in your life, because it is not all the way them. There is a spirit behind them. There is a spirit inside of them that is possessing them and telling them to do these things. And if they do not do these things to you, that spirit will torment them. And it's really a lose-lose situation, because even once they do those things to you and you leave, the spirit will still torment them. It will go from, well, you should do this because you're better than them, to once you leave, well, if you were a better person, they wouldn't have left. They are effed, okay? They are not happy. They walk around with a mask. That's why you keep it brief and you move along. I don't even recommend you do business with a narcissist. But if you do, make sure it's not a long-term venture. Make sure it's a quick transaction. I promise you, if you keep them in your life long enough, they will sabotage you. And when they sabotage you, family, because they are cowards, they're going to get the hell on. So they're going to try to destroy your life. They want to break you down. They want you in a mental institution. They want you incarcerated. They want you dead, okay? That is the ultimate goal of the narcissist. It is the reason why you can get into an argument, and if your narcissistic spouse feels like you are going to leave, they will call the police and they will set you up to be arrested. These are facts. And 9 times out of 10, the officer or the person in charge that shows up is going to be a narcissist as well. So whose side or do you think they're going to take? Whose side do you think they're going to take? They're waiting on a moment in time. They're waiting on a moment in time to say that, see, he's a bad person. See, he's not of God. See, they are, because the devil is the accuser. Satan is the accuser. He wants to accuse you of doing wrong. So he will set you up if he has to, in order to prove that you are a bad person. And it's not true. Another thing they will do is they will flip the switch and try to make it seem as though you're the narcissist. They want your mental so fragmented that you question your own reality, you question your self-confidence. Family, I am speaking from experience. I am speaking from over 2 decades of dealing with these beings, dealing with these people. Again, I am not saying all of this because I want you to hate the narcissist. Not at all. God says, pray for your enemies. I want you to be aware so that you can protect yourself. Same thing with the laws that God gives us to follow. God gives you these laws because they protect you from the enemy having legal right to come into your life and destroy you. So if you feel like you're living a good life, if you feel like you are doing right by good, right by God, if you feel like you're a good child in the universe, yet your life is always giving you BS, then you need to re-examine yourself. There is something that you are doing. There is someone that is around you that you are allowing these bad things to come into your life. Family, Satan's not gonna send you an ugly man or an ugly woman. He's not gonna send you somebody that's broke, busted, and disgusted. He knows what you like, and more importantly, he knows what you don't like. That's how come he can get on your nerves so well. The only time you should be restless, the only time you should experience discomfort is when you're going through spiritual warfare. And that will be more physical than, excuse my language, that will be more mental than it is physical. Like, it will be things, like I said, fighting your habits, fighting the spirit of lust, let's see, lying, um, any of the deadly sins for sure. Okay, that is the battle that you should have to fight. You should not be fighting with your spouse about things that will make your life better. Okay, if you're on my team, family, you're on my team. I should not have to worry about you cheating on me. I should not have to worry about you effing off our finances. I should not have to worry about you being lazy. Like, if you are experiencing these things, family, you are with the wrong person. And I know that God is telling you that, but you are only there because you have been trauma bonded and your body is addicted to the dopamine that it gets when your spouse tells you, oh, baby, you did such a good job. That is why they can crap on you, and then you will try everything in your power to please them, because once you do, quote unquote, please them in that moment and they give you that good job, you're gonna feel really good because it's the dopamine. But guess what? They're only gonna let you enjoy that for a little while, and they're gonna come right back around you, and then they're gonna say, but you should have cleaned up, or you should have done this, or you should have done that. Because why? Because the enemy is the accuser, family. It will always accuse you. Okay? If you want to know if you're around a narcissist, these are two quick, really, really quick things that you can do. Praise somebody else. Talk good about somebody else. Talk good about how much someone that both of you know. Matter of fact, it'd be better that you don't know them, because if you do know them, they're going to assume that you're cheating with that person. So when you guys are out and about and you're eating, or you're at Target, or you're wherever, and you see someone that is, yes, great, name Jesus Christ, she's pregnant, and you see someone that is achieving excellency at a certain thing, praise that person and watch how your spouse reacts. If you see someone who looks financially affluent, praise how well they handle their finances. If you see someone that is talented at a certain skill, praise how talented that person are. If you are with a like spirit or a child of God or just a regular person, they are either going to agree with you or they're going to be neutral about the situation. They don't care either way. But when you praise someone and your spouse or relative gets the twisted face, you'll be able to read their face. You're going to be able to see the anger in their face. They might not always speak or get angry or jealous or whatever it is. They may not always react with a physical action, but watch their facial expressions. Body language is more communication than actual words. So watch their body language when you praise that person. And then the second thing is, on the flip side, if you know that this is when I knew, my personal experience. Once I started elevating, once I learned about narcissists, and what they were. I never accused my spouse of being a narcissist. However, I would talk bad about them all the time. I would talk about how they were liars. I would talk about how they were thieves. I would talk about everything it is that the narcissist does. And my spouse would always defend them. You know why she was defending them? Because she was one of them. Okay? That's another way you will know. Talk about how this man is a womanizer or this woman is a whore. Again, either they will agree with you or agree to disagree. They're not going to argue with you about it because they don't care. However, if that person shares the same spirit as your narc, they're going to defend them because they are one and the same. They share the same spirit. So when you talk about, again, someone who is in sexual sin, they're going to argue with you. They're going to say that you're jealous because that man or woman looks good. And you're like, no, I work with this person. I've seen them sleep with multiple people at the job. I know this person is a womanizer, or I know this person is a whore. If your spouse shares that same spirit, they're going to find a way to defend them. They're going to say, well, it's not them, it's the people they keep choosing. Family, if you meet a man or a woman and they have been married multiple times, at a certain point, we have to look at you. Whether either you're the problem, either you're the narcissist, or your decision making is impaired severely. God appointed us to be married one time. I will give you twice just because shit happens, okay? And you have to know bad in order to know the good. That is why you receive that narcissistic spouse before you receive your kingdom spouse. Because once you've been with someone who is a bad spouse, when God brings you someone that's a good spouse, you're going to appreciate them. If he brought you that perfect person first, you would not appreciate them as much because you don't know what the other side of the fence is like. You don't know what it's like to be married to a cheater. You don't know what it's like to be married to a liar, to really appreciate someone who is honest and truthful. Family, I love you. I'm gonna have to get out of here. You know, we can only be in a certain place for a certain amount of time. Hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. I don't need your money. If you feel inclined to donate, it's on my page. I love you. I thank you. Love yourself, family. Love yourself. Educate yourself. Elevate yourself. If you are having problems in your life, ask God, why is this happening to me? If there is something that you want in life that you are not receiving, that you are not manifesting, ask God, why am I not receiving this? He will tell you. He may not always tell you in your mind. It may come through another person. It may come through something you read, something you hear. There are many ways that he can speak with you. But thank you. What you want to do is you need to figure out why, okay? Nothing in this world is done without why. Anytime something is invented, anytime a new law is passed, anything, family, there is always a why. And you need to get to the root of the problem. And if you do not, you will be like I was, family. You will be in shelters. You will be homeless. You will be arrested. You will be incarcerated. You will be placed in mental institutions. I have experienced all of these things, family. But once I fully gave my life to Christ and I fully committed, I live better than most of the people I know. Keep in mind, I am not filthy, stinking rich yet, at least. But God gave me what he knew I could handle, okay? And he will do the same thing for you, family. I love y'all. Be blessed. Peace.